Om Shanti. Good morning. So today we'll hear Bapdada's Murli, Avyak Murli of 25th January 1976. And the title of today's Murli is Become an Embodiment of Double Light. Become an embodiment of double light. So let us hear from Baba. On the path of devotion, Lakshmi is shown as a great donor. So what symbol is shown for a great donor? In the pictures, we see Lakshmi's hands are shown open in the form of giving, constantly giving wealth. So wealth is overflowing from her palms. This is a memorial of the Shaktis who are constantly giving all the powers and love. Lakshmi means the goddesses of wealth, not physical wealth, but the wealth of knowledge. A goddesses of wealth, of powers, means one who gives. So, whether you give knowledge or powers, you have to become a goddesses of wealth, as is shown in the picture that has been created. Such is the image of your memorial. So, do you experience yourself to be like that in the living form? So, a wonderful, way of reminding. And again, Baba is asking us to check that are we experiencing, in the such stage of, constantly giving, let it be wealth or let it be powers, to every soul that we meet, every person that we meet. Anyone who comes in front of you for even a second should experience having attained something through your drishti. And only then would you be said to be a goddesses who bestows. This service is now needed because only then will there be world benefit. You definitely have to give to all these souls. So the form of giving is subtle and very powerful. Less time and higher attainment. So this is a wonderful way of service, like not much of effort, but it is only through your stage that you just, with a lot of powers, invoking Baba, and through that drishti, just for a second also, it can change someone's life and help him connect with the divine. How much such Shaktis or goddesses who bestow have become ready? How many such goddesses would there be? So many, right? In the same way, there is a number for the memorials too. Now, there is an interesting thing with which Baba is sharing now. Some are those who give at every moment, constantly giving, right? And some are those who only give sometimes. Some only give to certain people. Some give to everyone. So there is a different, variety of, Shaktis giving, and hence in the memorial also, it is also the same thing which is seen. So some say that they would do something if they had a chance, if there was the field for it, or if they received cooperation. So there are like a lot of conditions attached, for the service also, or to give something. Only then they would do it. So what is their memorial? So Baba is explaining it further. What is the memorial? A date and time is fixed for their memorial too. Those who act constantly are also worshipped constantly. So there are temples where you see that there are no time boundings, constantly people come and they worship and they go. So those who act constantly are also worshipped constantly. Those who take a chance on the basis of time and cooperation have a date fixed for their memorial. Some goddesses have their every action worshipped, even their change of dress. This proves that that they donated at every moment while performing every action, and such ones are called great donors. And this is why their worship and their memorials are considered to be great. So whatever is your current way of, you know, giving the powers and whatever we have received from Baba, in the same way, the memorials are also seen. So one are those who constantly fulfill their responsibility of love with their companions, and the others are those who do not fulfill their responsibility of love even while being together. In their memorials too, they do not have the companionship of the worshippers all the time. They would only come for their selfish motives. It is very clear in their memorial whose memorial it is. This too is a secret. There are so many different temples, where we see there is a lot of, devotees coming. Some people, they only visit once in a while, or only there are some days fixed in a year where people come, people gather, people worship. So Baba said that this is also a secret, like why they are worshipped only once in a while and some are worshipped every day. So you now have to become like that. You have to fulfill the responsibility of love with your companions all the time, not just at the time of need, but you have to fulfill the responsibility at all times, not out of selfish motives, not for your own convenience, but you have to fulfill your responsibility with love and for all time. Acha, personal meeting with Bap Dada. Do you constantly experience yourself to be with Bap Dada? Or do you experience yourself to be alone? It's a wonderful question for reflection. So let us check. Do we constantly experience yourself to be with Bap Dada? Or do you experience yourself to be alone? Or is it only when, it's Amrit Vela, or Morning Murli that we are with Baba, and later on that whole effect is faded, you know? So how and what way I keep Baba with me always? Is it in the morning and evening, like the devotees, remember their, uh, you know, idols or whoever they worship? Is it like that, or do I constantly remember Baba? Just as the Father is shown as one with 1,000 arms, and while being the Almighty Authority, he is shown in the memorial with the children as his arms. In the same way, do you children also constantly experience yourselves to be with the Almighty Authority Father, or only sometimes? Those who constantly experience his constant company will never feel any need to experience the company of a bodily being. Such souls will never take the support of bodily beings for any service. If we are with Baba, then Baba will do everything for us. If we just remember him alone. To take cooperation according to the code of conduct and according to the gathering is a different matter. However, to remember a bodily being in any circumstance, thinking that person will help you overcome that circumstance, that they will give you advice or support, proves that you do not constantly have the support of the Almighty Authority with you. Because someone who has constant company of the Father has a close relationship with him. He will remember Baba in his thoughts and heart-to-heart conversation, that he should ask Baba about that. It also happens that you remember an instrument teacher, a companion, or an equal for a task, but you constantly remember Baba, Baba in your mind and intellect. So for some reasons, we might have to talk to people, whoever is with us, but again, in our heart, in our mind, in our intellect, it is only Baba, Baba, Baba. Baba is my strong support, only support. Since Baba has promised you that he will give you his direct company, you should take the benefit of that promise. At this time, you can have a personal relationship with both fathers, Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. It will not happen again throughout the cycle, because we don't know who is the creator, or even if we know, we don't have that strong connection or bond with him. Even in, on the path of devotion, in bhakti also, we know that Brahma is creator, but we never had this relationship with him as a father, as a creator. We never, no one taught us to have that heart-to-heart conversation with God or as a father with any relationship. We just praised him, but we never had that connect, that heart-to-heart conversation, as Baba says. So take the full benefit of the attainment that you are able to have at only this time and at no other time. No matter what happens, always remember Baba. No matter what happens, always remember Baba. This is known as being a constant yogi. So every thought, every action, whatever I'm doing throughout the day, it is just Baba, Baba, and Baba. So throughout the day also, if you come across any situation, any circumstance, so it is a nice way that you just, write, 2 or 3 lines about the problem, whatever it is, you just give it to Baba, or you just, sit in silence and then have a quick chat with Baba. So there is a different, people or different souls following it differently or remembering it, Baba differently. But again, having him as your constant companion is being a constant yogi. And to have remembrance of the Father at every step is also yoga. Are you such constant yogis, or do you have to become those? Are you such constant yogis, or do you have to become those? Since the Father himself is making an offer to give you his company, you should accept that offer. Should you not? For half the cycle, you were trying to convince the Father to give you his company. And now that the Father himself is making you an offer, you should accept it. Generally, when someone is offered something physical and that person does not accept it, it is not considered to be good manners. Would you consider that respectful? No, right? So this is an offer from God. To be constantly with the Father means to be a constant yogi. So throughout the day, let us remember the statement. It is a beautiful statement. To be constantly with the Father means to be a constant yogi, and I am a constant yogi. Yeah, he is constantly light, and so by being in his company, you will also become light, and light in feeling. So you become double light. You become light and also light in the feeling. Since the Father is offering to carry your burden, why are you carrying the burden? Those who are carrying a burden cannot move at full speed. Whatever baggage you have, whatever burden you have, it is very important that we constantly pass it on. Baba, you take it. Baba, you take care of this. Whatever it is, small or big, just give it. Just give it. But sometimes, we just hold on to things. We are not ready to let go. We are not ready to offer it to Baba. So now become light of all types of burden. Clear every corner inside yourself. So the task what Baba is giving us today is to clear every corner inside yourself. Do not hold on to any rubbish within yourself. Do not think that you will give it when you have a chance. It is, after all, rubbish. And germs grow where there is rubbish. To keep them means to make them grow. So when you keep yourself empty of rubbish, you will be able to fill yourself with the treasures you have received from the Father. Acha, this is a very short Murli today. So let us give a lot of love and remembrance to our beloved Bap Dada and say namaste and good morning to him. Om Shanti. Let us sit in silence for a minute and then we move to the churning. Shanti.
Om Shanti, wonderful Murli. Baba expects all students to move at full speed, and for that, uh, until unless we shed our burdens, we hand over the burdens to Baba. We do not, and ensure that we do not carry any rubbish within us, because where there is a rubbish, there will be germs. of waste thoughts, waste feelings, and etc. So Baba has reminded us to be careful on two fronts. One is any burden which we have got because of the past karma or because of any accounts unsettled, we have to hand it over to Baba in absolute remembrance. And second is we have to ensure that we don't carry any rubbish inside. We don't intake. Intake has to be stopped through listening, seeing, or experiencing any waste kind of things. And that key is ATY, all time Yog Yukta Sthiti, all time remembrance. Om Shanti.
Wonderfully explained. I like that last line, last part of ATY, all time yogi. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Anyone else would like to share?
Om Shanti, brother. The takeaway point for me is to be constant yogi means no matter what, always remember Baba. And second one is always remain in his company, because this is the only time when Baba is offering this. We are getting this offer in the whole Kalpa, so we should accept it.
Right.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. I am Lakshmi, goddesses of wealth. Okay, yes. I give drishti to people who come in front, subtle power, less time, higher attainment. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Girjaben. Would you like to say? Yeah, go ahead. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, divine family. Thank you, Baba. Yes, every action there is a worship of Brahma. Yes, every action there is a what I like very much when we give some, even constant giving more. That is a
Thank you.
Om Shanti, Dattabai.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, sometimes, when we are, especially I remember during Navaratri and all, whenever you are asked what dress you like to wear and all, I used to see everyone would like all the goddesses excepting Kali. They never used to, very few takers were there to dress up like Kali. In this Navaratri, they used to make all these people stand and all, even in our case. There would be very less takers for Kali. But everyone would like to become either any kind of the Ashtalakshmis. Probably because of the dress, or probably because she's an incarnation of goodness. So when today Baba was just talking about Lakshmi, that picture dawned on me. So I feel whatever memorial of goddess I'm taking, every goddess's memorial has a particular significance. Even Kali, she has the one of destroying. So unless the evil are destroyed, I cannot spread goodness. But today when Baba spoke about Lakshmi, probably he had a kuch intention tha unka. So he says, he's talking about giving. So the giving, as I always love this in the Murlis when Baba says, Devta bano, Levta mat bano. And he takes us to the hand of Lakshmi. वो जो है ना नीचे की तरफ, we can see coins are rolling from our hands down and down. So I liked that memorial. But then I thought, is it just a memorial I should remember? Am I only Lakshmi? No. So then Baba says, whatever you give, it should be subtle. So this giving, even a few days back, Baba had spoken about giving is receiving. And that time I had said, we should learn this from nature. The sun doesn't say, I will only give this one. The rain doesn't say, I'll fall only here. But the tree doesn't say, I'll give only this. And they don't expect anything in return. The tree doesn't want its fruits back. The sun doesn't want its energy back. So this nature thing, which I like, equally giving to everyone. That's what Baba says. When I give also, it should not be kabhi dena, kabhi nahi dena. So that's conditional giving, certain. And it should be for everyone. Or not to say, okay, if he cooperates, I'll give. If I get a chance, I will give. Agar mere paas hota hai, I will give. So this one concept I liked about how we have to be so generous. And 76 I found was more of a final moment, Murli. So I was just thinking, oh my God, how much I have to pack in these eyes of mine to give just by a drishti. That is what was the first thing which appealed to me. And then Baba, the second one, he speaks about love. That was how I wanted to churn more on that time. ऐसा कैसा हो सकता है कि कभी भी प्यारी दो, क्या प्यारी दो at all times and all. What should I be? I am not an ocean of love. So just the second part, this is the picture I carried when you were reading the first part of the Murli.
Wonderful sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share?
Om Shanti, just a related reflection is that Baba said it's a responsibility. It's individual responsibility in any Sanghatan. The soul has to always give love, and that's the responsibility. Word uses responsibility. And that's something I'm taking as a takeaway from today's Murli session, that the unconditional love, and that will happen only when I do very deep self-checking as to whether it is sometimes, at times, it does depend on the other person's cooperation. If other person is not cooperating, then definitely there is some kind of that there is a difference between the love when there was a cooperation from the souls, other soul, and then there is a more love, and when the cooperation becomes less, or the other souls are not cooperating with your goal, or they're not meeting your expectation or their duties, then definitely there is some kind of a waste thought, or ordinary, I will not say waste thought, some ordinary thought that love is not to that 100% to that soul, to those souls. So maybe Baiji, you can bring up this, how to maintain that constant 100% love for every soul, irrespective of the role. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yes, Datta, by same question I had. That's what I had asked you. Baba is saying, "Jiske paas pyar hai, there will be constantly people worshipping." I'm not saying I need a memorial 24/7, but can you please say how can I really 100% speak of this responsibility of love? Same point.
Okay, wonderful. Now, if I come across these questions, and when I think of the original qualities of soul when Baba talks about it, so I personally would like to go back to the fundamentals, going back to the first lesson, very first chapter, and when I practice being soul conscious constantly, so automatically there won't be any difference that I will have, or I'll come across treating one person one way or the other person the other way, or giving more love to one person and less love to the other person, or whatever differences or in the way of giving constantly, or full of love, or overflowing that love, that energy, that support, that respect to that person. I mean, all the values attached to it, it is easy for me when I'm seeing the soul, but I become the role conscious or the body consciousness comes in between, then it becomes an obstacle, a barrier which is very difficult for me to cross at times. And then maybe I become more judgmental. Maybe I start, seeing it from a different lens, maybe sometimes negative also. So constantly, like if I remember this experience of Dadi Prakash Maniji, and Dadiji was meeting foreigner, double foreigners. All these brothers and sisters were sitting, and one of the, I don't remember who shared this experience or where I read it, uh, but there were like some brothers from Bharat also. And when Dadiji was meeting and talking to them, when Dadiji was talking to brothers from Bharat or the souls from here, okay, when Dadiji was talking to them and when Dadiji was talking to double foreigners, not even a second, there was a different scene in the way she was treating, someone from here and someone from, outside Bharat. So that was the level of love and the drishti, treating everyone equal. And no one felt that, it was less love that I received from Dadiji. It was equal love received. And it is only possible for us also if we practice being soul conscious. I am a soul and I see the soul. I am talking to the soul. Coming back to the, lessons which Baba is revising us in the Sakar Murlis every day. बच्चे अपने को आत्मा समझो. और बाबा कहते हैं इसका खूब पुरुषार्थ करो. Practice it as much as possible. Focus your, attention, on this first chapter. And this is only one thing which I personally feel is very, very important, and we just lack in the practice. Because if I remind myself I am a soul, then again the whole qualities of soul will emerge, of peace, of love, of happiness, joy, I mean everything, the original qualities of purity, where there is no trace of any negativity there. There is only very pure intentions that I'll have. And with that vibrations, if I'm speaking to someone, automatically the energy of that love and acceptance will help the other soul. We can lift the other souls there. So I think this is what I personally feel, or I practice and give attention to constantly, so that we experience it. Anyone would
While
like?
you were sharing, Dattabai, what reflection I was getting was connecting to I, the soul, and connecting to the other person as a soul. So disconnecting from role and connecting to the soul consciousness is an access to be loveful all the time.
You nailed it. Thank you.
Dattabai, what you said, I
Shanti.
agree. Please go on.
Hello, please continue, sister. Vidya sister.
Yeah, Dattabai, what you said, I agree. It gave me a clearing. I was so privileged in the earlier days, say in 1990s, I had the privilege of sitting with Dadiji in the lawn. And I have seen her, she used to sit with her hair open and she used to dry out her hair. I used to take a chair and just sit there. And there are so many people who I know, they have those maryadas even they didn't have and all. Dadiji used to call them and give them. So I asked Dadiji, आप कैसा इतना प्यार कर सकते हैं? आपको मालूम है? किसी चुप उनका वो मत देखो. आपको मालूम है बाबा कितना प्यार करता है? It's not possible to love like Dadiji. It's just not. That's why when you spoke of Dadiji, it suddenly dawned on me. But I thought, okay, there should be some other way in the Buddhis. And today Baba is saying, constant companion, almighty authority. Yes, Baba, I love you, but I cannot, I'm being very honest, to love all the people at all times in the same way with the same thing. I don't.
Another consciousness is that, who has chosen me? And if Baba has selected me for the world service, And if I am with Baba, transforming this whole world, then I have to take up that responsibility as Baba. So how Baba is treating everyone with that, same level, same love, I have to also be his companion. Like whatever his qualities are, then I have to, experience it. And when I'm connected with Baba, then automatically that will flow naturally through me. And for this, very important is to have that knowledge also emerged constantly, like what Baba has taught us, Baba's teachings. So here knowledge also plays very important role. Like today also Baba reminded, having, the powers and knowledge, these two words which, are very prominent initially only when Baba spoke about Shakti or, giving. What are we giving? We are giving knowledge, not the wealth, but the knowledge and the powers. That's it. I mean, brother was sharing something, right, Rajesh bhai? Sanjay bhai, sorry.
Om Shanti.
Mhm.
Wonderful, Murli. What I understood, that Baba wants us to be connected to that Almighty God. As Brahma Baba did, he was always connected, he was combined to Baba. As Dadi Prakash Mani did, she was always combined to Baba. As all the Dadis did, they were always combined to Baba. And due to that only, the showering of love, the greatness of those personalities are uncomparable, because they are always connected to Baba. So Baba wants us to remember Baba throughout the day. Pal pal uski yaad mein rehna hai. That what Baba always says, swaso swans yaad karenge. When we are remembering Baba like swaso swans, that all the intakes which we are having, that is in the remembrance of Baba. That it, whatever we are doing, we are doing it yoga yukta. Yoga is a word in Hindi that itself tells you, when you are yoga yukta, you are yoga. When you are connected to Baba, you need not do anything. Just get connected to Baba. And the thing that is most important, that you should be aware that I am connected to Baba. Although we are in a valley of love, we go in the valley of love and you are connected to some negativity, you will not experience that love.
Mhm.
In this Purushottam Sangam Yug, we are in the valley of love, we are in the valley of Baba. But for that, we have to connect it with Baba. And when we are connected to Baba, what happens? All the quality of Lakshmi, all the quality of Saraswati, all the quality of Kali will come automatically. So the thing is, the main crux connected to Baba, you are always getting the supply. You're connected to the powerhouse, you are getting all the supply of all the gunas, all the qualities and all that. And it's just a matter of, it will just in default that you become Goddess Saraswati, you become Goddess Lakshmi, you become Kali. It's just a default. Main crux connected to Baba, we should be aware that what we are doing, that what I thought, that what I experience and what I believe. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother. Om Shanti. So one more thing which I personally I was just thinking about the same thing again and again. Like, how can I be like him? And he's ocean of love, of course. Baba mentioned one more thing today, which I guess we have, Ombai has also shared, and you have also shared, that if we have anything inside us, which is not so good or any rubbish, then it is very difficult to have love for others. So if I'm very clean from inside, then automatically my original uh, qualities will will flow, and I'll be full of love, constantly radiating that energy of love to all the souls. So which means that if there is some trace of any rubbish or anything which is not so good, so I have to work on myself. I have to remove all those things, and then I'll constantly be light and I'll feel light. So that could be another thing which maybe we'll have to work on ourselves and make ourselves as clean and clear as Baba is, so that we come back to our original power or experience that were quality of love and radiate that energy.
Shanti,
The
I'm sorry, just one reflection about this love. So, so love has this power also. So apart from that, we all shared about what love is, yeah, and it can also, give us some power to forgive others when we have so much of love, right, for others. Because it becomes easy for us to forgive, and also when we have love for ourselves, then also it's good for us, so that also helps us to forgive ourselves. As we practice, we may also come across or make some mistakes. So and then we try to we try to curse ourselves, or sometimes we try to start exploring or go on churning what we have done, our mistakes. So when we have love for ourselves, right, so we'll get the power to forgive and then move forward. So so this will actually make our life easy, and in our life there will be a good progress when we have love for ourselves. This will make us to easily, forget our mistakes. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Brother, what that brother said, forgiving, okay, forgiving we can do. Let me be very honest with you. As you were talking now, I was just trying to take an individual, like what is that which doesn't make me give 100% love? So everything else, I give something else like an earthworm, no, और कुछ निकलता है वहां से. Or if not that person, some other person comes up. I think it's a process of this Kade Samskars. Dattabai, I had only one doubt. In the second part of the Murli, sorry, I couldn't read what you said. Bap Dada is saying, don't look for any support. So I was just thinking about that. He's saying taking cooperation according to Maryadas, and I don't know what was the other word, is okay. What does Baba mean that? Because just 3 days back, I had an example. A person was sick. When you went to the hospital, it seems that person never used to take anyone's help or anything because he felt unko taklif dena hai. He didn't take, he took his own car, he drove to the hospital and he died before when he could reach. So when a talk came, he said he always believed that kisi ke paas kuch dekhna nahi, Bhagwan dekh lega. That was his view. So, and that was a thing. So what does Baba mean in that? Kisi not to take any this, or what is the restriction of support? I know destiny, I know God will come. Can you please clarify that? Because I could not get the Murli words.
Sure. See, now, of course, when you're not well, you need support, you need help, of physical beings, of course, who can help you. And, in that particular situation, of course, when you're not able to do anything. Now, here, Baba is talking about, how much you are attached or connected with, with your mind and intellect, who is there, who sits there. जैसे बाबा कहते हैं ना, दिल में सिर्फ दिलाराम हो, only one Baba in your heart, okay, and you're constantly thinking of one. Physically, of course, when you're weak, when you need support, you need people around you. And taking support from others or दूसरों से सेवा लेना, if you really need it, and when you're taking that help, which means that you're helping them grow as well, so that they also understand that this is also another service that I have to be ready for. So it is not that you're not supposed to take any help or support from anyone. When you need it, you definitely take it. And when someone is offering you that support, which means Baba is helping you through that particular instrument or that soul, that you need it, and that's why Baba has got him close to you. So it is very important for us to understand that the knowledge is also very interesting sometimes, where if we take it in a very wrong sense, then it might damage our own sthiti, our own stage. Is like, then it goes for a toss. We don't even experience that close connection with Baba. We just are thinking constantly about that situation or that circumstance where we are in, and then we feel that Baba is not helping me. And again, this becomes another way of Maya to enter my intellect, and it will take me away from Baba. Then that whole constantly that self-sabotage, and then a lot of things happens. So it is very important for me to understand the knowledge what Baba is trying to tell me, and understand it in the right sense. If we are like, if you're not very clear about it, then maybe it is very important for me to talk to the instrument teacher, or whoever you feel has a better understanding of this knowledge. And I believe that sharing like this, having conversations or churning like this, definitely helps us clear our understanding. So like Baba has clearly mentioned, constantly remember Baba in your mind and intellect. It is there, that support has to be there. Like, I have to remember that Baba is doing it through this person. Baba is my support. Baba is always there with me. I am in Baba's company. I'm experiencing that powers. I'm experiencing that love. I don't need anyone's love. So that is where I have to understand that where Baba is and what Baba is doing for me. I don't need anyone's support, which means that mentally, or emotionally, or whatever way, Baba is constantly giving me. I don't expect love from anyone. I am receiving Baba's love abundantly, unlimited love. So that's it. I mean, anyone else would like to add anything? Because we are.
Articulated, Dattabai. The reflection that comes to me is, let not this particular part of Gyan be our ego trip.
Mhm.
I don't want anything from anyone. That's good to say. But that time when there are things where you need to have support from physical beings, and if you're connected with Baba, it will come in the way of instrument to support you. Ultimately, we are living the social world. So taking Gyan in the right uh, approach is something which is very much important, and not making it as my stubbornness or my ego. That thin line is something which one needs to understand. That was what I was getting while you were sharing on this. Thanks.
Right.
And just one reflection about that some support is required for meeting the social roles which soul is playing in an organization. So always look for that support, ask for that support, but if the support is not given, my state should not get deviated. That inner stage has to be constant. That is the real challenge. And second is the it's like it's if we can visualize like a bird, a eagle who's sitting on the branch, but not dependent on the branch, takes a rest for a while, but that bird knows in case of a storm or anything, he believes in his wings, power of wings, his wings power more than the branch support, the external support, because he's connected with the Baba. So I think that constant practice and practicing your own wings in with the help of Baba. So receiving all attainments, all relationships, experiencing all relationships, and receiving all attainments thereof from the one powerhouse. I think that's the key which we keep practicing. Sometimes I forget actually. I used to forget sometimes, and I become too much of role conscious. There is what then I take too much support from the branch. and branch can fall apart anytime. I think that's a takeaway for me. Om Shanti.
Wonderful, wonderfully explained, brother. That when we are talking about the eagle and about the branch, about the wings of the eagle, what I got, this branch is the attachment to the world, the expectation from the world, and the wings which the eagles have is Gyan and Yoga, which Baba has given us. That is using of this Gyan and Yoga, and not totally rely on that branch, that world, that worldly attachment. And if we believe in ourselves, that means we are always in Gyan and Yoga, connected to Baba. No need of any help from any branch. You get, because you have got that Gyan and Yoga, and you can fly when there any such problem. So you don't need help of anybody other than Baba. Om Shanti.
Yes, Bhaiji. Wings of fire, if we can say. Wings of fire. That fire is yoga, isn't it? Wings of fire, and the fire is yoga, remembrance, deep remembrance with Baba, where you can
Yes,
fly
yes,
unlimited. So no branch or no tree can ever attach you or attract you or
yes,
make you handicapped.
yes. Great.
Let us sit back, relaxed and comfortable, and look at myself. Taking a deep look inside and checking every corner of my soul. Is it clean? Are there any traces of negativity, pain, resentment, or any other rubbish things? Let me remind myself that I'm very powerful and I can conquer all this waste and negativity with my powers, my original qualities of soul, of purity, love, peace. And look at all these innate qualities emerged. And I see it in the form of light as I reflect on each and every quality, as I see myself full of that energy. I see this light becoming brighter and brighter. Around me is so peaceful, so pure, so light. And I take my attention to my sweet home, land of peace. And I see myself with the most beautiful, unique star, which is mine, very close to Baba, experiencing his light, his love. And I see this light entering me, cleaning each and every corner of my soul. Just one. in his company. Full of light. All the stains and negativity has washed out. And I'm very pure. Like my father. Just perfect. Ready to play my best role today. I see myself in this costume with that divine energy and light around me. Experiencing his presence in every action I do. And giving drishti to each and every soul. Radiating love and powers. Being light, feeling light. And spreading light constantly. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Dattabai. Thank you, Divine Family, and see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a beautiful day.